Hi everyone. Do you ever hear yourself saying, now's not a really good time to start trying to improve my health? Well, if you hear yourself saying that ever, it probably means you're making it too hard and too complicated of a thing to do. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Christine Garrison, and I'm a health coach, and I help midlife women who are fed up with dieting stop their sabotaging beliefs and behaviors and take practical, small steps in their health so that they can feel younger as they get older. And that's what I'm talking about today, and I totally get it. I hear this a lot. Now's not a good time. I've got to wait for a better time. I'm too busy. Work's crazy. The family's crazy. Everything's crazy. But once that is over, that's going to be the perfect time to start eating better, to start exercising more, right? Well, today I'm going to hopefully convince you that you do not need to wait for the perfect time, because there is no perfect time. You already know that. There's never a perfect time to start. I think a lot of the problem lies in that people think in order to get healthy, you need to throw out everything you have in your kitchen. You need to join a gym. You need to go 5 days a week. You need to completely overhaul your entire life. Who wants to do that? Not me, not most people, right? So it's too hard and it's too complicated. But it doesn't have to be that way. It can and it should start with a very small step. Small step is the way to start. And by taking a small step, that means you can do it now, today. You could take a small step today. And a lot of people think, oh, what good is that going to do? Well, I'm going to tell you a little story to explain exactly how good a little step can do for you. So this is a story I heard a couple years ago. There was a doctor, and she had a gentleman patient. He was in his 60s or so, and he had just multitudes of health issues, health conditions, several different debilitating diseases, medications, tons of medications, and he was actually needing surgery. However, she was concerned that he was not healthy enough to get this surgery, and she really wanted him to improve his health just a little bit so he would, this surgery would be a little bit safer for him to have. So they discussed it, and she really wanted him to start getting a little bit more exercise. So they talked about it, and he came up with, okay, how about I will walk to my mailbox every day, or 6 days a week, and get my mail. And that's going to be what he's going to do for his exercise. Now, previous to this, somebody else in his household was getting the mail, because walking to his mailbox, even though it was just down at the end of his driveway, was a challenge for him. That was difficult. But he decided, okay, I can do that. That seems reasonable. So because he had so many health issues, he did have to go back and see the doctor pretty regularly. So probably about 4 to 6 weeks later, he came back for another appointment, and she asked him, how's it going with walking to your mailbox? And he said, great, actually. I'm kind of looking forward to getting outside every day. And the first few days, the first week, were kind of hard. I was, had a little out of breath. I had to stop on the way to get to the mailbox and take a little rest. But now I can walk to the mailbox no problem and walk back to the house no problem. So she said, great, that's fantastic. Keep doing it. So next appointment, probably another 4 to 6 weeks later, asked him again, how's it going walking to the mailbox? Fantastic. I'm actually walking past the mailbox down a little bit down the block so that I can turn around and come back and I'll get the mail on the way back. But he was saying he wants to extend his walk because he was enjoying it. He actually was feeling a little bit better. She said, that's fantastic. Please continue doing that. And so he did. And the next appointment, he's walking around the block. I'm going to cut to the end because you probably figured out where this story is headed. But at the end, which was probably about a year to 18 months later for this time span of this story, at about 18 months, he was actually, I always want to tear up when I say this, He was actually walking 3 miles a day. 3 miles a day. When he started, he could barely walk to his mailbox. Okay? Not only was he walking 3 miles a day, but along his way, along the journey of this, he decided, wow, I'm feeling so much better from walking. I wonder how it would be if I started eating a little bit better. So he very gradually and very slowly started eating some more fruits and vegetables. He maybe ate a little bit less of processed food, had fewer fast food meals, and that was making him feel better. All this journey along the way, about 18 months later, the doctor was able to take him off some of his medications, reduce the amounts of other medications, and very excitingly, delay and postpone his surgery indefinitely, because at that point, he didn't need the surgery anymore. His health was improving enough that he did not need the surgery. So that is the power of taking small steps. Now, let me ask you this. If his doctor had told him, well, I need you to start walking 3 miles a day and to clean up your diet and stop eating so much fast food, if she expected him to start with that, what would have happened? No, that's not going to happen. That's overwhelming. That's overwhelming for anyone. But when he started with a small step, walking to the mailbox, that's like planting a little seed, putting a little water on it, and then watching it grow from there. That made him feel better, so he continued. He wants to keep feeling better. I'm going to continue walking. Now I'm going to add on something else to see if it makes me feel better, and so on and so on and so on. And that is the power of the small step. It's not waiting until your life is perfect, because you know it's never going to be perfect. You might get a perfect day in there every once in a while where work is great, everyone in the family is great, the weather's great, everything's great. But, how often do those days come stacked together? Not often. So pick something small you can do today or tomorrow. Think about it. Pick something small and implement it into your crazy, hectic, busy, not perfect life. And then let's see if it can grow from there. So tell me in the comments below, what would be your small step? What can you do? Would it be, I'm going to walk to my mailbox today? Would it be, I'm going to have one piece of fruit today? Would it be, I'm going to go to bed 5 minutes earlier tonight? And continue those behaviors and see if they can grow into something more. Feel free to share this if you know someone in your life that you think, oh, yeah, this would be a good message for Uncle Bob or Aunt Becky, right? Somebody needs to know this. So feel free to share. Let me know in the comments what your small step would be, or if you have any questions, let me know. And thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you again later. Bye, everyone.